Coming up on today's Locked On Senators, we know Craig Anderson has retired, but will the greatest goalie in franchise history be retiring as a member of the Sens?
And it's Wednesday, so we have a SensCentral Citizen. This time we're going all the way down under. Madden is our guest today.
Great conversation, mate. Let's get to that and more. This is the Locked On Senators podcast. It's your team every day.
Your Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
I'm Jake Sanderson, and you're listening to Locked On Senators podcast.
I'm Tim Stützle, and you're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast.
Welcome inside episode 860 of the Locked On Senators podcast. I'm Ross Levitan on the outskirts of enemy territory in Winnipeg, Manitoba, alongside Brandon Piller up in the Blue Mountains. Today's episode is brought to you by Bird Dogs. Go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or use promo code LockedOnNHL for a free white tech hat with any order. I'm wearing it right now. It is so comfortable. You want to take advantage of Bird Dogs and you won't want to take them off. We promise you. birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL. A reminder, you can subscribe to Locked On Senators wherever you get your podcasts. We are also free and available on YouTube. Today is Wednesday, August 23rd, and Pilsy, Napoli's restaurant in Stittsville accidentally posted on Twitter or on their Instagram that Craig Anderson will be signing a one-day contract and retiring as a Senator.
That's great news. I mean, whether it's leaked out on purpose or not, doesn't bother me, but
it's since been deleted.
Oh, okay. So that's probably an accident then. And Sens fans were on it to screen grab those, obviously. But hey, this is what we hope for, right? We need to have a day where we can properly send off Andy and have him come back as an Ottawa Senator and retire as a member of this franchise. So I'm stoked about the news.
And Phil Lallier, a SensCentral Citizen, and he's the guy who found this out. So I'm going to put it up if anybody's watching on YouTube. This is awesome. It's a plaque. It was their third one. Proud to announce today that Craig Anderson will officially retire with the Ottawa Senators Hockey Club. Thank you to all my friends and family who've supported and surrounded me over my hockey career. Official retirement details to follow. Okay.
All
there you
right.
have it. Craig Anderson retiring as a member of the Ottawa Senators. What could that mean for his future? Ring of Honor, jersey retirement. We discussed all that on Friday's show. So stick taps to Craig Anderson. Fantastic career. But we got a Citizen to get to, Pilsy, because it's Wednesday and Madden was so electric that we went about 30 minutes with him.
It's honestly baffling how people in Australia, England, like all over the world are following the Sens. Because usually when we talk to these citizens, Ross, I'm like, okay, they're probably not like too dialed in. Like they know hockey, they know the Sens, but they're not going to be fully in it. Dead wrong. I mean, Madden, this guy lives for the Sens. He has the game up on his phone while he's working and stuff. So this is a red hot SensCentral Citizen, I'll say that.
Let's get to it. You're listening to Locked On Senators.
Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Bird Dog. Bird Dogs are the best way to be comfortable and look great. If you're watching on YouTube, Ross has the white tech hat on, and you can get yourself a white tech hat as well with the purchase of any of their other products. I love the shorts. I'm wearing the joggers right now. These joggers are so comfortable. And the thing is, they're great for all occasions as far as how they look. You can wear them going for a walk, taking your dog out, having drinks at the bar, going meeting up with friends for a backyard barbecue, anything like that. Bird Dogs are the right shorts for the occasion. And I love them because they use anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day long. So go to birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or enter promo code LockedOnNHL so you can get yourself one of those free white tech hats that Ross is wearing with your order. That's birddogs.com/LockedOnNHL or promo code LockedOnNHL for a free white tech hat. You won't want to take your Bird Dogs off. We promise you.
Today's episode is also brought to you by the GLEBE Central Pub. You know we love our friends at the GLEBE Central Pub. You can visit the GLEBE Central Pub in the heart of the Glebe at 779 Bank Street. I'm on their Instagram right now, and guess what? This upcoming Saturday at the GLEBE Central Pub, 9 p.m. to midnight, performances by John Allaire and Dunn. Saturday night, live music at the GLEBE Central Pub. They always make sure that it's an inviting atmosphere at the GLEBE Central Pub. Whether you're on the way to a Red Blacks game at Lansdowne or going shopping at the market, whatever you're doing in the area, stop by your neighborhood pub in the heart of the Glebe. 779 Bank Street is where you'll find the GLEBE Central Pub. They've got food specials, drink specials, you name it, they got it at the GLEBE Central Pub. Stay tuned, because Sens season's back, which means the Sens Shuttle is coming back from your friends at the Glebe Central Pub. So go visit them, 779 Bank Street, and make sure you let them know that Locked On Senators sent you. All right, let's get to this week's SensCentral Citizen. To Australia we go to chat with Madden. All right, we now welcome on this week's SensCentral Citizen. We are going 15 hours in time zone away, down under to Australia, where we welcome on Mr. Madden, who's all geared up, looking like he's ready to walk into the CTC so far away. Madden, what's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
Man, cheers. Great to be here, guys. Not a whole lot's going on. It's 12:40 in the morning. I'm ready to go. I've got, 10 hours before I have to be at work. But nowhere else I'd rather be than chatting with you guys.
So what time do games start for you? 7 o'clock Eastern. When are you typically dialing into the Sens?
Man, this is the thing. I mean, sometimes I wake up at 7 or 8 in the morning and the game's over. If it's an afternoon game, I'm getting the numbers and the scores as I wake up. Yep. But more often than not, it's 10, 11, 12, which is fine for me. So at work, I'm a chef, so we just prep during the afternoon, get ready for dinner service. So I just post a photo up on my pass and just watch, the streams. And there's one other guy in my kitchen. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care about hockey, but he knows when the Sens are on, leave me alone. I'm watching the boys.
That's awesome. So what part of Australia are you in?
So I'm in a town called Bathurst. It's 3 hours west of Sydney in New South Wales. It's 50,000 people, but it's still got tiny country town vibes. Everyone just knows everyone. More people are interested. There's a big car race here every year. So if you look up the Bathurst 1000, it's supposed to be the race of races of the year. It's not really my vibe. It just brings a whole lot of people to town. So it basically means I have to work extra hard. Yeah. Not my job, but it is what it is. And so I'm living there.
Nice. Yeah, I just looked it up on Google Maps here just to get an idea. So that's pretty sweet. We got to start this off like we start every SensCentral Citizen. What made you become an Ottawa Senators fan?
Yeah, so when I got to Canada, I came over on a working holiday visa in 2017, around about the March time, and I met a buddy straight away. One of the first mates I made at my workplace. His name's Mike Barton. He's a good Ottawa boy, and nice. He pretty much pulled me aside. I said, "Look, I don't know. The only thing I know about hockey, I learned from Mighty Ducks and Goon." So he said, right, we're going to the bar. We're going to sit down. We're going to watch. I'm going to show you the ins and outs. And yeah, he was an Ottawa fan. And so he just sort of took me on his wing, explained what the hell offside was, yep. Why everyone was having fights. It was fantastic. I was immediately swept away. And so I just said to him, I was just so, what team do I need to go for? And he's going, well, it's up to you. You're in Canada, you should probably go for a Canadian team. Smart. And I was like, well, I'll go for Ottawa. That's cool. And it worked out because that was before the playoff run. And then they ended up killing it in the 2017 season. Obviously, until now, it's been a bit rough since. But so that was really cool. So, once I chose Senators, it was do or die from there on in.
What was the first game you remember watching?
the first game I remember watching was probably like, I don't know, maybe them versus like, it might have been LA because I don't know where it's come from, but I have a deep-seated hatred for LA.
So you're not a Brendan Lemieux fan, I take it then.
No, I'm not a Brendan Lemieux fan. And I'm super stoked that we got Corpusalo.
Yep.
And I'm super stoked that they've got Kent Talbot.
Yeah, that works out all right if you're a Sens fan.
Yeah.
So when you're watching hockey for the first time, like what are the things that are like catching your eye? Because like you probably had never seen or really talked or heard about hockey before coming to Canada, right? Like what are the things that immediately you're like, oh yeah, this is a sport I'm going to get into?
Oh, so like the only other time I had anything to do with hockey, I was on a school program over to the States, and I was about 15, 16. We went and watched an AHL game.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah, that was really cool. It was a Seattle team. I can't exactly tell you who they were. Something to do with it's like Seattle. But I was like, oh, yeah, this is cool. Maybe this is something I can get into. And then I went home back to Australia and completely was not immersed in it. No one cares about hockey down here.
Yeah.
So I sort of fell by the wayside. When I chose that I was going to go to Canada, I knew that, it's the Great White North's game. I'm going to have to pay a bit of attention here. My phone, when I got there, my phone card was a Rogers, and it came with the NHL subscription for free. I was like,
there you go.
Sweet. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to have to embrace this because it's that or it's the CFL. And I don't like footy at all. Like, I'm not a big NFL guy. My brother's a massive NFL guy, not me. And I could not get behind CFL. Sorry. So I was like, nah, hockey for sure. And then watching it, I was just like, these guys are absolute machines. Like, have you ever watched Blue Mountain State?
Yep.
Yeah. So the episode where they go against the ice hockey guys, that's like, these guys play on the hardest surface known to man with knives on their feet. Yep. I was like, all right, that's a bit of exaggeration. I watched it, man. They're nuts. They're insane. And I was about it straight away. I was like, this is fantastic. And just like the hits, the precision, the skill, and also the energy.
Oh, yeah.
When I found out these guys are playing like 2-3 minutes at a time, I was like, oh, and that's a good run. I was like, oh, is that it? And then you start doing over 20 minutes, over 60 minutes. Like, I can't run 20 meters without getting puffed, let alone ice skate. Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, just the natural athleticism, the passion, and just the grit. Oh, it swept me up straight away. I was doomed. I was guaranteed to be a fan for life.
And are you an appropriate guest for a goalie-friendly show? Is that your first jersey behind you, the Craig Anderson one?
First jersey ever.
Nice.
I maxed out my paycheck. So basically I paid my rent, and then I said to Mikey B, like the guy who got me onto the team, I said, I need to get a jersey. He put me onto the shop. And then he was just like, oh, who are you going to get? And I was just like, Andy. Andy's the man.
Yeah.
Goalie friendly show for sure. Woo! Goalie centric. And and then later on, as they went through the 2017 playoff run, I was just blown away by the way that guy played.
And it's different too, right? It's like stand up. He's just making saves. It's all read and react.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's so sick. He doesn't sort of just drop down and cover net. He's so big as well. Like, I thought, how does someone who's, 6'5", 6'6", however tall he was, he's everywhere. He's like Gumby, but it's so cool. So yeah, I was blown away by him. So immediately I was like, I'll get Anderson, and I'll get the so that's a 2017 away. So it's got the not the Senegoff, but the other symbol in before they adopted the 2D. It's pretty sick. And I just thought, everyone's got the home jersey. I'm gonna get the away, stand out a little bit.
I like that. And just from looking at your Instagram too, I can see the one you're wearing right now with the A is your own customized one, is it not?
Oh, yeah. So again, the Mikey B, the guy who got me into the team, he bought me this. He gave me the alternate, which is sick.
Yep.
And then threw on number 5, so that's like my lucky number.
Okay.
And threw on my last
Nice.
I was blown away. I was like, that must have set him. And what to get it posted from Australia? That's the reason I don't have many more.
Yeah.
Is the postage is ridiculous. So like, it must have set him back a few shekels. I owe that guy a lot. And ever thankful to him.
He's like, you can't be the captain, but we can.
No. I don't think Brady didn't even have the seat at this point. I actually got this the day, and this is a good story. I got this the day the Sens came back 5-0 against Toronto to win 6-5. Oh man, I was blown away. I was like, oh cool, there's a package on. I sent him a message like, thanks so much. Oh, by the way, they're playing. And I caught the third period and then the OT. I was just like, this is sick.
Yeah.
I was fired up.
That was one hell of a game. What a game to get your jersey to just go full elite Sens brain, eh?
Oh, man, like ridiculous. I think because I was living in an apartment by myself at the time, and I was above like a menswear store. And after that, like I just finished work, a few beers happened, music started playing. Maybe like an hour later, he comes up, he's like, you need to turn the music down. I'm trying to operate a business. And I was by myself, just having a party. It was wild. It was so
He's
good.
like, man, didn't you see the Sens just came back from the Leafs Battle of Ontario? You got to understand what the noise is all about.
I said something similar to that. He looked at me like I had two heads.
Probably yelling, "Who's your daddy?" after Evgeny Dadonov and wanted
Daddy.
Man, it was so sick. And man, Dadonov was cool. Sad to see him go.
Pilsy's favorite.
I was a big Dadonov guy.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, like
that's sick.
I when he got signed, I was hyping him up big time, and unfortunately, it didn't exactly work out for the Sens. But he brought us that moment. That moment alone was worth it.
It earned his contract.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I'll give you. I had a shared experience. Matt Murray. So one of my other good mates is like a hardcore Pens fan. Like, he's from Czech. He's got everything Sidney Crosby.
Right.
And when we got Murray, I sent him a message. I was like, "Yo, this is sick. We finally got some good goalie after Andy." And then Matt Murray just sort of happened the way he did, and it was very depressing.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, while we're on depressing Matt Murray, I want to go back to 2017 for a second there. Before Matt Murray ended the season for Ottawa, who were like the first players on that Senators team? I know you mentioned Craig Anderson going beast mode all year long, but which one of the forwards or defensemen, who caught your eye right away? And maybe except for Erik Karlsson, because, I mean, if you're just watching hockey for the first time, you're seeing this guy magical out there. Who else caught your attention?
He was badass. But so Cody Ceci,
number 5. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, sick, right? So the first Ottawa Sens game I saw was at the Saddle Dome in Calgary. Obviously, Banff's only like an hour and a half away.
Yep.
So the first game I went to, the 2017 October game, Sens won 6-0. Andy with a shutout. I was up in the nosebleeds, and those saddle beers were going down very well.
Oh yeah, Ceci scored the first goal you ever saw live.
Ceci scored the first goal. I saw Thomas Chabot's first ever NHL point on an assist.
Nice.
What
a game devoted for you! Wow.
I'm pulling it up,
dude.
The score for the people watching on YouTube. I got it right here.
Bro, it was so good. Ryan Dzingle's, Tommy Chabot's first.
2-0.
Jeremy Yeager was playing the game. Like,
hell yeah.
2-0 going into the third period. Like, it wasn't a blowout early and you're just kind of mopping up the third period. They came out 3 in the first 7 minutes of the third period. Let's go.
It was like Mike Hoffman, and like that was the first time I saw that guy's power. Like, that is a shot that you do not mess with.
You even got to see a bull fight.
I did. Yeah, it was sick. So a Boro fight, like all of it was just unreal. And unfortunately, as I said, the Saturday beers were going down pretty well.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a blur, but I watched the replay at least 2 or 3 times. If I ever want to get fired up about the boys, I'm like, oh yeah, I was there. That was sick. I don't remember that, but that was really cool.
Then you can go on and you can find the highlights online. And then at that point, you're like, oh yeah, I remember Pilsy. The first time we ever went to a Sens game together, Boro fought like as we walked in from the tunnel. Yep. I mean, he got the whistle blown on a 2-on-1 break for Ottawa. We were like, oh, we can see a goal right away. And then at the other end of the ice, Boro's like, no, I got business to take.
Yeah. And
that was right before he saw his, because ours was like right before the playoffs in 2017. So that's a funny little aside there. But great, Matt. Were you rocking that Anderson jersey at the game?
I had the Andy jersey. I had this beanie on, like the Molson Canadian, like the freebie. So yeah, me and my buddy Mikey B were there. There's like 3 or 4 others, but he and I were just like, when we left, like it was full of Flame fans. They were everywhere. You know, Sens fans were few and far between. And we were just walking out on top of the world. Like it was a bad night to be a beer in Calgary that night. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's always the best when you get a big win at the away game and you're just basking in the glory.
It was red hot. It was so good. And definitely, like as you said, Boro, he had a bit of a scrap that day. Boro might be one of my favorite Sens. Like I only really know from 2017 onwards, but I'm like hunting down one of his jerseys to get over here. It's just it's a matter of, you know, funds and finding the right ones, because it's not easy.
No, that's fair. Yeah, all the way.
Every time I find something, it's in Nashville, and I'm like, yeah, but.
So, are you planning on making a trip back to Canada to see a game live?
The goal is to get over there in January next year. Yeah. So
okay.
My work, we shut down for a month over Chrissy.
Okay.
So I hang out, we'll do Christmas with the family, and then get back over. Ideally, you know, if everything lines up, on about the 2nd, and go stay with some buddies in Banff, and the Sens are playing Calgary again on I think maybe the 6th. So that'll be the 3rd game in the Saddle Dome that I've seen the Sens boys play, and hopefully 3rd win as well.
Hope you're enjoying our conversation with Madden. We'll get right back to it. But first, a word from our friends at Athletic Greens.
Yeah, there's one simple way you can develop a healthy routine with Athletic Greens. All it takes is 1 scoop of AG1 into your cup of water every morning, and you can get yourself on a healthy routine. I love AG1 because it's simple. You're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and more. And that special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, immune system, energy, recovery, focus, aging, all of these things in 1 scoop. And it's lifestyle friendly. So whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free, it's all good. And AG1 contains less than a gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, and still tastes great. So right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1 year, a full year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/NHL Network. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/NHL Network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance from Athletic Greens.
All right, now back to our conversation with Madden. I just watched the fight, by the way. Borowiecki fought Michael Furlan there, and the start was hilarious. Boro throws a big hit along the boards. Furlan's trying to fight him. They're in the middle, and then Calgary gets possession. Boro's like, I got to break up this 2-on-1. Back, breaks up the 2-on-1, and then they drop the gloves behind the net. But that's awesome. You're already planning your next trip over, and the fact it works out with your time off, I mean, that's elite. Are you going to try to go up to Edmonton, get your money's worth? Because I think they play a back-to-back, if not 2 games in 3 nights. Might have to get up there and support the boys. Because they have trouble. Man, they have trouble up there.
They do. That wouldn't probably. Oh, hold up. There's a cat.
I know that issue. I'm looking at the schedule here, though, Madden, and look, they're in Vancouver on the 2nd, Seattle on the 4th, Edmonton on the 6th, and Calgary on the 9th. You could do one hell of a Sens trip if you wanted.
Wow.
Look, I would love to do that. Whether or not my girlfriend wants to do that,
That's fair.
I'm already taking her out of her comfort zone and trying to get her to go snowboarding with me on like Sunshine Village or something like that.
Nice.
She's never been riding before. I think, taking her 12 hours of driving through the snow just to watch me have fun. I don't know if that's going to go.
That's fair.
I don't know. Well, maybe she'll love it. Mm-hmm.
Hey, just explain. Hey, show her that scene from Blue Mountain State that you brought up.
Yeah.
She'll be dialed in. Madden, I got to get your thoughts on the team today.
Yep.
Feeling good going into this season?
Oh, dude, stoked. Super, super stoked. My only concern is in the 4th line.
Okay.
I really think ideally if we can sign Pinner soon, that would be sick.
Mm-hmm.
I know the cap's a bit of a sitch, and I don't want to see Joseph go. Like it's a bit weak. Ideally, they'd have the same settings that I have when I play Chell, which is no salary cap.
Yep.
And then they could put on people like on my team, like I got Tarasenko, Kokanyemi, and Marc-Andre Fleury in the goals.
Nice. Okay.
That's not gonna happen. But so I really want Pinner signed, and I'd love to see Sokolov come up and hit that 4th line. I think he deserves it. He's clearly proven that he can't do anything much more in Belleville.
Right.
He's ready for it. And you know what I'd love to see?
Let's hear it.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see Boko take Zach McEwen's spot.
Yep. We've been talking about that. And Pierre Dorion even said the plan, like he was kind of brought in with plans to play in the NHL. And didn't Boko get number 14?
Yeah, exactly.
That's an NHL number.
Well, they showed him pick his number in that video, and he's like, I want to get a number where it looks like I picked it.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah.
It's so good, man. And he's just like an all-time vibes guy. And when you lose Austin Watson, who, say what you want about maybe the erratic behavior on the ice, where you never know kind of where he's going to go, kind of flailing in terms of his skating style. He still brought like a lot of energy, and I think that's what you need. You need one of those guys. Like they have to be able to play, but you need a guy who can go out there and like Chris Neil, every start of the game, and you probably just jumped on the end of Chris Neil's career, but
I just missed him.
Every first shift, he was going to run someone through the wall no matter what.
Big hit.
Before he went. If he went to the bench without hitting someone, he was probably going to punch his teammate in the face on the bench just to get it out of his system.
Got to get fired up somehow, and if that's the way to do it, that's the way to do it.
You get the boys fired up. So hard to you is Boko Imama's making the team at a camp.
Well, I would love to see it because, like, don't get me wrong. I mean, before chatting to you guys, I was watching both their highlight reels, and look, Zach McEwen, he can score goals if he's lucky, but he's there as a bit of a grunt, and that's cool. We need that. You don't need Brady throwing down the gloves every single time. Like he's too important now.
Exactly.
And I actually saw the Boko v Borowiecki fight.
Yes.
And that was sick. And I was like, all right, so Boko could throw down. Maybe he can replace that. And he also just seems like a better dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all for maybe like Pierre Dorion. I am down for positive attitude. And Boko seems like the kind of guy you can have a beer with and have a chat with.
Time.
Oh, you do it too, though, man. You got to meet someone from Prince Edward Island before you say they can't throw down a few Sudley ones.
I actually worked with a guy from PEI when I was over there, and he looked like Zach McEwen, just shorter and about 3 times wider. And that guy could. Oh, it was bad. I thought Australians could drink.
Was that guy a chef?
Yeah. He was a chef as well. He was like I was working breakfast shift, and he and I would work breakfast together, which is really good until we both finish at about 2 p.m. and have nothing to do except go to the bar.
That's trouble. That's trouble. Okay, I want to keep talking about today's team as well. You mentioned the spot you're worried about, the fourth line. I mean, if your only concern is on the fourth line, that's looking pretty good for things going forward here. But what are you most excited about? Like, what aspect of the team gets you fired up the most?
Honestly, dude, like my favorite player on the team at the moment is Drake Batherson.
Okay.
He sort of first came to my attention. I think it was in the 2018-19 season where he tied goals per game, like in a row, consecutive goals in a game in a row. And he tied like the league record. And I was like, all right, cool. So this is a new guy. He's pretty cool. He's young. And then the season after when he had his leg injury.
Yeah.
Aaron Dell, man.
I know. A very tough omitted player from our list of Sens villains. That was.
I was gonna bring this up actually. Martian stole that for me because I didn't know who deserved the win, and then he honorable mentioned Aaron Dell, and I was like, I hate that guy.
Yeah,
Martian, you win. So yeah, it would make me happy if the next time Aaron Dell drinks a beer, he spills it. I wouldn't be mad.
So 50 points for Drake this year.
Yeah.
Oh, like points. If he could hit 50, 60, that'd be sick. I'd just like to see him get more. As long as he bounced back from his last season, and he even said himself, he knew he wasn't doing well. He knew the ankle was causing him some grief. So if he can just outproduce last season, I don't think it's unreal. Like maybe it's a stretch, but I reckon he could hit 30 goals.
That'd be great.
Like that'd be sick. It'd be super sick. But honestly, as long as I would just like to see him back to himself.
No, agreed, man. He's so fun to watch when he's on top of his game. Just his deception and way that he can puck handle. And Pilsy and I got to watch him when he was coming up, right? Because we were working in Belleville those 2 years, and him and Josh together was so much fun to watch, man. So how would you? And this is my final question for you, Madden. How are you organizing the top six? Who do you want to play with Drake Batherson? It's good problems to have. Where are you putting Tarasenko and Giroux? How are you going to mix it up in that top six with Norris healthy?
Well, look, I think you guys talked about it. That's sort of the accepted first line is going to be Brady, Stützle, Tarasenko.
Yeah.
Like I think that's just your best look for success. And then Batherson tied with Norris, Giroux on the back. Like Giroux's he's gonna have that veteran presence, and he can do the left wing. I know they both offered to do left wing, but Giroux's got the skill in it. He did really well in Philly on that. So put him in there. And I think Batherson's ready for the second line. Ideally, I'd like to see what have I got? Like Kubalik, Pinto, and Greg on the third.
Yep, nice.
I think Greg's ready for full-timer. He earned it, in my opinion. He didn't seem like he shied away from a challenge when he got called up. And Pinner, obviously, he was put in a bad spot with Norris being out. Like, he was put somewhere he wasn't ready, and he still performed. He just, he needs a little bit of extra time, and that's fine. So if they can get in the third line, that'd be red hot. And then the fourth line for me, man, if I get Sokolov or Parker Kelly, if Sokolov's not ready, Kastelik, and then McEwen, Boca Amano, and maybe even Boucher. Like if Tyler Boucher's ready, that'd be sick on the fourth.
You forgot Igor.
No, he said Sokolov.
No, right wing on the fourth.
I got you, man. I got you. Now,
Cheers.
Final question for me is: I'm just going to open the floor up. Is there anything we didn't get to, or anything you want to talk about? Because you don't get to talk Sens very often with your mates down under. So this is your time to shine. Take it away.
I don't get to talk Sens at all. Like, I get really excited when I'm downtown and I see someone with like a Chicago Blackhawks jersey. Like when we got DeBrincat, I was like, oh, cool, yeah. So Senators just got DeBrincat. What do you think about that? And they're like, I just like the hat, man. I don't know who these people are. I have one friend who's like a Rangers fan, and all he cares about is Adam Fox. So, yeah. Sorry, the cat's back. So
get that cat out of here. No cats for the Senators, right?
He's a hassle.
Yeah, that timing.
So like, I just want to say, like, I think we're ready. I've been hearing a lot of news about everyone reckons it's a tie between us and Buffalo. I watched the Everyday Sens guys do a line comparison. I reckon we'll take Buffalo.
Oh yeah,
we'll take Buffalo.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be red hot. Definitely a playoff position is coming our way.
Yes.
Man, if we hoist the cup, that'll be. I've got a few shekels down, so that'll probably be paying for my next plane ticket to Canada and home opener for the 2024-25 season.
Yeah, we got to get you to a home opener, man. It's an experience unlike anything else.
It's
it'd be ridiculous.
Everybody thinks they're going to win the cup on the night of the home opener.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. And I did want to just have a quick shout out, Pilsy. I know that you haven't won the Ring of Honor yet.
Yes.
You won the late draft for me. Only because you had Boro.
Yes. Nice. That's a good one. Thank you. I need any support I can get. I need it.
Oh, dude, it was sick. And obviously you had a bunch of guys from sort of my era, so that was red hot. And Ross, you had the jerseys for me.
Let's go.
Nice.
But I also had the late round picks. I also won that one. No. I won it. One vote isn't going to split.
Oh, technically you won, but for me, Pilsy had it.
Okay.
I needed that. Thank you, Madden. I really needed that. I appreciate that.
Madden, I think you mentioned how many times has Pilsy won the Ring of Honor?
For me, he's killing it. Yeah. Unlucky, buddy. Maybe next week. What are you doing next week? Can I ask?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us? You tell us.
Yeah, you tell us.
Week?
Best goals.
Best goals. Okay.
Best Sens goals.
I
love it.
Best Sens goals.
Boom.
Best Sens
you
goals.
You can do it.
We appreciate you, man. This is great. Reach out to us anytime. We love having you.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Absolutely. We're going to have to.
Can I ask?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry, just one little suggestion for best goals.
Yeah.
Drake Batherson off the mask of Markstrom.
Okay.
The 4-1 win. Well, yeah, he rattled the cage and put it in.
Ooh,
that's not even Drake Batherson's best goal. Pilsy and I were in attendance for Batherson's best goal. The overtime goal against New Jersey at the end of the year, not this year, but last, where he just makes Ty Smith go into a complete blender, spins around 18 times, and then puts it in. And that was Timmy. That was the best game of Timmy's career, too, I think. 4 points in that game. He had a shorthanded goal. He was buzzing. Best Sens goals next week on
That's
the
Ring of Honor. That's a good one.
Madden.
Pilsy, I believe in you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the way from down under. Madden, we appreciate you, man. Keep repping the Ottawa Senators down there, and we'll talk again soon, all right?
All right, later, guys. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Stick taps to Madden for joining us. Really fun conversation with him. Absolutely sick, as he would say. Pilsy, before we go, how are you feeling about the top goals in Sens history? Because Madden told us that's our next Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I think that's a great topic. I've already got a bunch in my head that I can think of, and this is going to be interesting to see if people vote for like the highlight reel of the goal or the importance of the goal. So we'll see how things go here. But one thing's for sure, Ross, we can't let Martian absolutely dominate us in a Ring of Honor like he just did. And he did the first time as well. I mean, I shouldn't say much. I still have 0 wins here. Most second place finishes, though. Not a big deal. So, yeah, I'm hoping this one goes better for me.
Stop. You're getting pity votes at this point. I feel like you're just going to win because everybody likes Pilsy. They want him to feel good. Right now, it's 2-2-0 because Martian, won that one in a landslide. He understood the assignment. I think we failed. We were more like Sens killers. I think we've been swayed in our direction, but villains is certainly where that tipped the scale. So fair enough. I tip my hat to Martian. And make sure you subscribe to Martian Media coming soon. I think he's going out and swinging the golf sticks with Tyler Clevin and Tyler Boucher this weekend. So there should be some content coming soon on that from our friend over at Lalim's Martian. Pilsy, any final thoughts on today's show?
Final thoughts for me is, as you can see, I'm in my new studio. If you're watching on YouTube, finally got my desk in the door and I got things set up. And you might notice New Jersey right here. Thanks so much. Honestly, it's really kind that people listen to the show and actually pay attention, because we had Rob Bowens message us saying, hey, I heard Pilsy say he doesn't have a gold send-off jersey. I got one lying around, so I'll send it over to him. And here we go. It's debuting in the new studio. So thanks, Rob. Appreciate it. Love this jersey.
What an absolute beauty for hooking you up with that. That looks sharp, Pilsy. It looks good. So more to come here as we turn the page to 2023-24 very soon. We've been teasing it forever. Next week, we are starting the organizational value rankings. We got a big interview coming up, hopefully on Friday, as long as we can work out a time between both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. But besides that, we are ready to rock and roll into next season, season 5 of the Locked On Senators podcast. But for today, we say goodbye. For Brandon Piller, I'm Ross Levitan. This has been the Locked On Senators podcast, your team every day.